We start with breaking news tonight. In just the past couple of hours, the U.S. started airstrikes against ISIS in Syria. The military now plans to strike up to 20 targets in the country, which is considered the terrorist group's home base. These strikes are part of the president's expanded military plan against ISIS that he revealed 2 weeks ago. We are working to get more on this developing story for you. All right, fearing for their safety outside their front door, residents of one Kansas City community say a surprise move by the city may now encourage criminals. Only here on 41 Action News, Jenna Hanchard spoke with residents about why this caught them off guard and is now keeping them on guard.
Krista, let me show you these signs. So they say no stopping, standing, or parking. These signs are right now on Campbell. They used to be on Armour Street, right in front of the Bainbridge apartment complex. Now some residents say crime may increase on the block if the city doesn't put the signs back.
Trent Hudson feels unsafe when he walks out of his home at the Bainbridge Public Housing Apartments in Kansas City.
Some people say, well, they're just standing out there, but why are you standing out there? You have an apartment. Don't you have somewhere to go?
Hudson fears loitering will encourage the violent criminal activity that once plagued the complex for years.
I'm not looking for trouble, nor am I wanting to have an area set up so trouble could possibly happen.
Up until a few weeks ago, there were city signs in front of the Bainbridge that prohibited people from parking and hanging out in front of the building.
All of a sudden, poof, signs are gone.
The city says the Hyde Park Neighborhood Association requested that the signs be taken down, but they didn't tell us why. And that's what Trent is trying to figure out.
It's because I live here. You didn't ask me.
And Trent isn't the only one that's been out of the loop. In an email from Laura Burns, the CEO of the company that owns Bainbridge, she said the city didn't notify them about the parking change. She wrote, quote, "This change by the city is creating exactly the kind of loitering and gatherings we have all been working hard together to eliminate." The Kansas City Police Department is also asking why. In an email from a spokesperson, they wrote, quote, "Our position is to determine if the community's needs would be better served by a more restrictive parking zone as it was before." In the meantime, residents like Trent want a voice in the conversation.
I want the signs back. It deterred that gathering, that environment, the unnecessary environment in front of the building.
Well, the president of the Hyde Park Neighborhood Association has not responded to emails or phone calls regarding this story. We did put a request into the city to figure out why the signs were taken down and why the signs were requested to be taken down here on Armour. Reporting live in Kansas City, Jenna Hanchard, 41 Action News.
Two of the biggest names in politics now getting involved in the Kansas Senate race. Just a few hours ago, we learned Sarah Palin and Jeb Bush will campaign for Senator Pat Roberts. Palin will campaign for Roberts this Thursday in Independence, Kansas. Bush will then attend a fundraiser with Roberts 1 week from tonight in Wichita. Now, a recent poll from Rasmussen shows independent candidate Greg Orman leading Roberts by 5 points. The heated race for governor in Kansas now getting tighter. That same poll showed Democrat Paul Davis leading Governor Sam Brown back by 4 points. Earlier this month, the poll showed Davis with a 7-point lead. A high school prank goes too far. Investigators are now trying to stop racially charged vandalism believed to be carried out by students of rival high schools in Lawrence. Garrett Hake found out how the district now plans to use these crimes in the classroom.
Krista, the Lawrence School District stages some of its buses in this church parking lot. And it was here this morning that one driver discovered new and nasty vandalism on the side of one bus and called police. Was it retaliation? That's the question investigators are asking of this vulgar spray-painted vandalism on the side of a bus parked near Free State High School over the weekend and captured in these tweeted photos. Last week, with Free State and Lawrence set to play on Friday, police say 5 senior students from Free State used shaving cream to write a racial epithet, including the N-word, on the Lawrence High School football field. No permanent damage was done, and the vandals were quickly caught. They could face criminal charges. Separating the two schools is 15th Street, and ironically, not much else. According to the Kansas Department of Education, the two schools have nearly identical percentages of white and black students, although Lawrence High School, here on the south side, has about 15% more economically disadvantaged students. Parents we spoke to off camera, both white and black, said they were disappointed in students acting so stupidly. They said they weren't concerned of a larger racial issue here. They just hope this week of intimidation and possible retaliation stops here. The district superintendent said in a statement today he found the latest instance of vandalism, quote, especially disappointing after dealing with the first, and that the district hopes to use both instances as teaching tools to get students talking about race and sensitivity. Reporting from Lawrence, Garrett Hake, 41 Action News.
All right, it is officially fall in Kansas City. Gary Lezek shows us if it's going to feel any different tomorrow.
It won't instantly feel different, but it is fall. It started at 9:29. 61 degrees. We're dropping into the 50s here in the next hour or two. The changing of the seasons. Yes, fall began at 9:29 p.m. All right, coming up at 10:18. This is the sunset, by the way. As the sun was setting over the stadium complex, next week could be quite an incredible week here in Kansas City if the Royals keep doing what they're doing. A storm is not targeting us, but we'll talk about it, and Jack Carey's coming up as well. Krista.
All right, thanks, Gary. Tonight, police searching for the man who led them on a high-speed chase. Police in Cass County tried to pull over the suspect at 2 o'clock this morning. That driver took off, eventually led police to the parking lot of a Leawood school and church. That's where he got out and ran away right at 119th and Roe. Now, tomorrow, prosecutors could charge the man who allegedly shot at a Johnson County deputy in a separate incident. Investigators say this happened as he tried to steal construction equipment near 191st and State Line overnight. After a 12-hour manhunt in this case, deputies found the man near 175th and Knoll. Nobody was hurt. A man dressed as a woman robs a Raytown bank. Take a good look. Police want your help finding him. Officers say he robbed the UMB bank right near 63rd and Raytown Road, dressed as this woman. Investigators say he did not show a weapon. He just demanded the teller hand over cash. Police would like your help if you can recognize him. The teen tased by Independence Police will start rehab tomorrow. Doctors released 17-year-old Bryce Masters from the hospital today. Officers tased him more than a week ago now, and they say he was not cooperating after an officer pulled him over. The FBI is now looking into this incident. A warning tonight for a new donation scam in Blue Springs. Police say scammers call claiming to fundraise for an event where you can shop with a cop. The scammers then ask for money and for credit card information. While the event is real, police say they do not raise money that way. If you do get a call, you're told to hang up and report the number to police. A push tonight to change policies that restrict the use of marijuana. Show Me Cannabis hosted the discussion in Lee Summit. Those who attended learned about upcoming marijuana legislation and heard from speakers who have been affected by the drug's prohibition. The group says the government should legalize cannabis, but regulate and tax it just like alcohol. Chicken fight isn't over yet in Liberty. Just a few hours ago, city leaders pushed back the vote on changes to the city's chicken ordinance. They're considering lifting the need for neighbors' permission if you want a chicken coop, and could also increase the number of chickens residents can have. And they're now set to vote October 13th. We'll keep you posted. Now, new help for tornado recovery in a small Missouri town. Today, Governor Jay Nixon said a grant will help Oric fix streets and finish removing debris from the May twister. Can you believe it's been that long and they're getting help now? The state will also give the school district a low-interest loan to help fix the damage. Right now, lane closures could cause delays overnight in Johnson County. Just so you're aware, KDOT shut down all but one lane of eastbound 435 at Roe. It's that continued work they're doing. The Knoll Avenue ramp to 435 also closed for this. It's all because of that construction they've been working on the bridge there for a while. The lanes and ramp will reopen at 5 tomorrow morning, hopefully in time for any morning rush hour. Today, the Baltimore Ravens responded to accusations it tried to cover up the Ray Rice situation. ESPN reports the team knew about the surveillance video that shows Rice punching his then-fiancée just hours after it happened. The report says the team then pushed for leniency. Today, the team's owner admitted they made mistakes, but said no one tried to cover up that situation. Secret Service now increasing its surveillance around the White House. This comes after an intruder actually made it inside last week. Today, we learned Omar Gonzalez, an Iraq war veteran, had more than 800 rounds of ammunition, a hatchet, and a machete in his car. Gonzalez was also violating his probation. The president and his family were not at the White House, but security is being reviewed. A surprise discovery at a couple's dream home.
I was in good health. Nothing was wrong with me. I didn't have any medical problems.
The toxic nightmare they found years after moving in, and the cover-up, they say, hid every bit of it.
A lot going on in our sports and weather worlds. Jack Carey will talk about this, and that's the sunset today. We'll show you that in our forecast coming up.
A Liberty family who moved into their dream home says they had no idea about what was buried on the land next door. And they say the people who did know concealed the truth. Amy Hawley met the Spence family on their land.
I don't know.
It's Alice Spence's favorite, peachberry jam.
Well, this is from the Amish.
It's store-bought, the only kind of food she and Lee Spence will put in their fridge now.
When I first moved out here, I put out a garden.
She canned her own beans and preserved her own jelly, but those jars are empty now.
No, not anymore. We did. When we came out here, there was plums, blackberries, and gooseberries. There was a farm.
In 1993, the retired couple bought 80 acres of streamlined, hilly pasture land outside of Liberty.
See all this?
The perfect spot for their horses, cattle, hunting, gardens, and a getaway for their grandchildren.
That's what it's all about.
But when they spent time on the land, the Spences noticed a stench, an odor they disregarded until 3 years ago, when Lee Spence offered to sell a part of the land to his neighbor.
That's when he said that my land wouldn't be worth a lot because it was next to a hazardous waste dump.
It was the first time Lee says he had ever heard those words used to describe the property next door, a hazardous waste dump that was closed in 1983. In a lawsuit filed in April, the Spences alleged their neighbor, BFI Waste Systems of North America and Lincoln Brothers, had reassured them before they bought the land that nothing bad was buried in the landfill. The family says BFI's corporate headquarters even told them about possible future development on the now grassy site.
They might put a golf course on it or a park or something like that.
The Spence's farmhouse sits 200 feet directly north and west of the landfill site, but their land butts right up next to it. A stream divides the two properties, a stream his cattle used to drink from, but no more.
My cows had come down here and drink, and I wound up with some aborted calves, deformed calves.
In the lawsuit, the Spences allege BFI, which has operated the landfill since the 1970s, maliciously chose to conceal the fact that the Spences would be exposed to the 160 million pounds of hazardous waste the state of Missouri confirms BFI dumped at the site in the 1970s and 80s. Those include herbicides, industrial waste, chrome sludge, paint strippers, and acids. Waste the state of Missouri says have the potential to attack a person's health, central nervous system, lungs, and skin. So the Spences believe after spending 2 decades on the land, it's why 3 generations of their family became sick. Alice says she's had a stroke and seizures.
I was in good health. Nothing was wrong with me. I didn't have any medical problems.
And Lee says he, too, was once healthy.
I wound up with cancer of the lymph nodes.
Lee told 41 Action News doctors also diagnosed him with neurological problems, pain, and cramping in his arms and legs that looks like worms crawling under his skin. The lawsuit also alleges the Spence's son and 25-year-old granddaughter, who had also lived on the land since 1997, now have health problems they say will be lifelong and will prevent the granddaughter from having children. The Spences say 2 dogs died of cancer and the gardening stopped. A spokesperson for BFI Waste Systems declined to speak with us on camera, but refutes the Spence family's health claims, saying, quote, there is 0 data to support their claim. And BFI Waste also denies withholding information about the status of the landfill, saying, quote, the Spence property is regularly monitored, and science continues to disprove the assertion that there are chemicals in the soil on their property. But the Spence's attorney says not only did BFI Waste Systems mislead the couple, but also that the EPA determined the landfill was polluted and had ordered an investigation 13 years before the Spences bought the land.
They're not anxious to spend more money, and the more information that's shared, the more likely it is that they'll have to spend money to be able to clean things up.
Within the last few years, near their dream home, BFI put up a fence and posted danger signs around the hazardous waste site. The Spences say words they wish they would have been told years ago. So for now, the jars for preserves in Alice's kitchen remain empty.
I'm 73 years old. I've lived a good life. I'm sad for the grandkids. because I brought them out here, and I thought it was really going to be a fun thing to do. It didn't work.
The Spences want BFI to pay for the land they believe the waste company destroyed. But BFI says it does not believe the Spences' health issues have any connection at all to the hazardous waste dump, and recently asked a court to dismiss the case, but that court denied that request. Amy Holly, 41 Action News.
From Kansas City's weather leader, here's Gary Lezak and your 41 Action News forecast.
So that story will be online too, because I imagine there'll be some people who want to see a little bit more of that, or talk about it, or think about it. But in the meantime, fall happened tonight, just about 45 minutes ago.
It's here, and then we're just 3 months away from my favorite season.
Winter.
Winter.
He just wants it to snow. It could snow in the fall if you want it.
It could snow in the fall. It does snow in the fall. It sometimes snows in October, which is not that far away. Fall started at 9:29 p.m., so about 45, 50 minutes ago. You can see it has been a very nice beginning to fall. Now watch the cirrus clouds. This is from a couple of sky views this evening, a time lapse from around 5 o'clock till 7:40 p.m. or so. And you can see the beautiful sunset out there right now. There's a great shot of that sunset. This is right over the stadium complex at Kauffman and Arrowhead Stadium. So you can see beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? The beginning of fall, end of summer, and a beautiful sunset to make it happen. All right, what's going on right now? We look outside. It is 61 degrees, a south-southeast breeze at 7 miles per hour, so not much wind tonight. It'll be down into the 50s in the morning. I don't consider that cold, but it's mild, maybe slightly on the cool side. But there is a little storm that's moving through. This is Wyoming. Here's Colorado. Here's Wyoming. See that little spin, the little twist? This storm's going to stretch out and weaken and stall and sit and affect us for about 3 days. But the chance of rain is very low, even though there's some showers to our west. This is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. The clouds will be increasing tomorrow. At first, it'll start out some sunshine, and then showers and thunderstorms to the north and west of us. But watch. As they get here, they just fizzle and fall apart. Maybe there's a sprinkle or a shower tomorrow. The chance of measurable rain is 10%. Then, tomorrow night and Wednesday, now we have a nice band of rain and thunderstorms coming our way, right? But like we've seen over this past year, this is what happens to these systems. And it fizzles, and maybe there's a little bit of rain on Wednesday, but not much, not a big storm. Our forecast, 54 degrees in the morning, increasing clouds, southeast winds 5 to 10, 69 degrees for tomorrow at noon. Partly cloudy, a southeast breeze 5 to 15 miles per hour. 72 for tomorrow's forecast high temperature. We did get within 1 degree today. I'll show you our 3-degree warranty with the name at the end of the show. 72 on Wednesday, 78 on Thursday, 79 Friday. Kayla Dion, I think, is singing the national anthem tomorrow for Sporting KC. Yeah.
Is she really?
So that's going to be exciting. So get on out there and support Sporting Kansas City. But right now, I don't know, Jack, but this is pretty interesting week ahead of us, isn't there?
I'm interested to see what you have to say about what this all means, because there were some losses and some wins. Go.
We could have won 2 tonight, okay?
Oh, I know.
If we really want to get greedy, we could have won 2. We'll take 1. But you're right, Kristen. It means a lot because Detroit lost, Seattle lost. Royals getting closer to the playoffs. Hello again, everybody. The big week for the Royals underway. It is money time with the playoffs on the line. The Royals waited 23 days to play the final 3 outs of that suspended game against the Indians, and they had a chance for a miracle rally. Aoki delivers base hit. Gore around the score to make it 4-3. It was all set up. Dyson at second with the tying run. Infante pops it up on the infield, and that would do it. Quick work. Indians take a 4-3 victory, but hang on here. Here comes some good news, folks. In the nightcap, the Royals got the early jump on Cleveland. Hosmer coming through, base hit. Aoki around to score. Would 1 be enough? The big question at the time. Didn't look like it when Danny Duffy loaded the bases. No outs, bottom of the first. He got out of it. He knuckled down. 6 innings of shutout ball in the first start in more than 2 weeks for the guy. And how about the rookie, Brandon Finnegan, came on in the 7th inning, struck out a pair, and that set it up for Davison Holland, who took care of the rest. The Royals get the 2-0 shutout on this final day of summer. It's starting to feel an awfully lot like playoff baseball in KC.
We were one hit away from winning both games, I feel. You know, we came out and made the first game extremely interesting. Solid defense and some timely hitting to win the second game. And, you know, you couple that with Detroit's loss and Seattle's loss, it's a good night for us.
It's exciting. We want to go to the postseason really, really bad. But we still got to come out here and play solid defense, pitch well, and get those timely hits, and not think about tomorrow. Just play today, play well today, and we'll worry about tomorrow when it gets here.
All right, the Royals pick up a half game on the Tigers tonight. Here's the way it looks. Detroit loses to Chicago 2-0. Royals now a game behind Detroit, 6 to play. Cleveland falls to 4.5 back. Now, Toronto ripping Seattle tonight. So the Royals now with a 2-game lead over the Mariners for that second wild card. Oakland 6, Los Angeles 1. That game in the 3rd inning. All right, the Chiefs hoping that Jamal Charles and Eric Berry will be back for the Patriots game a week from tonight. They got a big game out of Niall Davis yesterday in Miami, subbing for Jamal Charles. Davis carried 32 times, 132 yards. Now, former Arkansas running back has a reputation for he put it on the ground twice, losing one of them.
I really haven't worried much about him in that area. And you saw we came right back to him. So, I mean, it wasn't like we sat him down. So I don't think on one side the concern is not there. You can't put the ball on the ground, though. I mean, that's the bottom line. He's aware of that.
You know, we were just talking, Gary, and all of us. There's a possibility now the Chiefs and the Royals could both be playing a week from tonight. Can you believe? No. We hope the Royals get this thing taken care of, this weekend.
Right.
But that possibility still exists.
I think all of Kansas City, our hearts are racing, our minds are kind of blown right now. This is so
Everybody's
uncommon.
Pulling together. You get on this Twitter thing. I've been on that tonight. It's just phenomenal. I mean, the thing is just on fire.
So fun.
And it's good. It really is.
All right, we'll be right back. So happy first night of fall.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
It's splendid.
What do they call the Fall Classic? What is that? Is that the World Series?
I just want to go back to the fact that he just said splendid day.
Can the Royals make it to the World Series, Krista?
I think so.
All right, let's see what's going on. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. All right, we bring you that 3-degree warranty. Michael Reyes from Kansas City. We missed by 1 degree today, so you are in the running for $1,000 we're going to be giving away soon because we're getting close to October.
All right.
I had to turn this down, boy.
Thank you for being with us. Come again tomorrow night. We'll see you then.
Can you hear? Yeah.